Why buy your next vehicle from Community Motors of Mason City?
Great service from 3 locations: Community on Monroe, Community Motors Westside, and Mason City Ford. 10 new franchises and hundreds of vehicles to give you more choices. Plus, Community offers an exclusive 3-3 warranty on pre-owned vehicles and 10-year, 250,000-mile warranty on new. Need more reasons why? Stop or visit CommunityAutoGroup.com.
Because nobody beats a community deal. Nobody.
This is a good opportunity to get together so soon after the fair that we completed on the 15th to be able to kind of look back and take a look at some of the features that we had.
I'm Bart Pels. I'm with the North Iowa Poultry Association. Mason City is so willing to spend money on youth programs, the youth centers, this, that, and the other thing. Saragota County has one of the best youth programs going on the planet. It's called 4-H. And if this town would just get behind that and smarten up. If NIT, if you want to do something positive for the fair, I don't care about Dennis. Ask Anita why we can't let 4-H in the school.
Why don't you show up at a council meeting and say that then?
Pardon me?
Why don't you show up at a city council meeting and tell them that?
Yes, we need to do that.
Okay.
We all need to do that. Because 4-H
It's not my job to promote your thing, but I appreciate you mentioning that.
Is the best there is. We got the health, the whole 9 yards. You want leadership, it's 4-H. Go to ISU, send your kid to ISU. They'll tell you we can just about pick out every 4-H kid because that child is not afraid to get up and speak. So we need to work together. We can do all this pussyfooting around that we want, but until we stop this bickering and get together, it's insane. We have a wonderful fairgrounds. People talk about this expensive piece of property. This is a huge draw. I'm a poultry judge. I go all over the country judging poultry. My wife is allergic to feathers. My point is she doesn't spend too much time at a poultry show. This is a draw for spouses that aren't interested in poultry to the walking distance is shopping. A lot of fairs are 10 miles out in the absolute middle of nowhere. Having this piece of property here, I know it's all political, but this is a huge draw for national events here. Ask Katie Elson, she was tremendous at getting national events here. That brings exhibitors here. Our open poultry show in September, we expect to have around 100 exhibitors and their families come to Mason City. We need to promote that instead of this bickering amongst each other. But we all need to show up at the council meeting. We all need to show up and ask Anita why she does not allow 4-H to set up a booth at Mason City Back to School night. We have gay lesbian clubs there, but we can't have 4-H. That might be, that's wrong. You want leadership, it's 4-H, period.
Matt.
Question. This is county land, is that correct, Dennis?
Yes, it is.
Well, we're all supporting it with our tax dollars. Have you thought about approaching the supervisors for more money? I mean, under their watch, specifically, several of these supervisors have been on the board for some of them decades, and we've seen a steady decline in the condition of the property. Have you ever thought about going to the supervisors and saying, we need your support out here, we need more dollars, where are you?
I'll answer your question. We keep in contact with the supervisors. We have a dialogue going with them. We keep them informed as to where we are, and because we want to be good stewards of the land that they lease to us for $1. We want to keep them informed on the conditions of the buildings, and they have, by their count, put a significant amount of money out here in different ways. There have been some specific projects that they've helped us with. They currently make a grant of money which has been used to pay for the insurance on the buildings. And we are ready to go back to them as needed to bring things to their attention. As we find, and Matt, you cover them, you know that there are others in line. and they are there with their needs as well. And so it's a matter of them trying to prioritize every request that they get. And so we will keep with them. We know that it is their land. We will remind them of what needs to be done, that there are certainly areas that we've identified, and while we can put them on a list, that doesn't mean that it gets done. It has to be taken even further and either show them that we have others who are involved and want to be a part of it so that they'll be a part of that, kind of that bandwagon type thing. Everybody wants to back a winner. Nobody wants to help the loser unless they really see that it's pretty tough and you could end up losing it completely. So if others are jumping on board, we'd like to see the city council do that. We'd like to see the city council of Clear Lake. We'd like to see the county supervisors try to join the rest of this community in trying to support this facility as well as they do all the others.
I mean, this is a big community energy system here. It's like, I can't even believe you can't draw people.
Going back to the feedback I get from the fair, really, because I own 5 kids that are in the 18 to 29 age bracket, and why they don't come here, because they go to Rockwell, and they go to Turkey Days, or whatever that is, and they spend all weekend there, all the time, and it's like, so I thinking of it, listening, why do they go there? Boogie and the Yo-Yos, it's consistency, every year, they Boogie and the Yo-Yos is going to be there, all their friends are going, they camp, and they hang out for 2 full days. Rafting days or whatever, mud volleyball, beanbag tournaments, they're not high dollar things, but there's something that will keep them there, entertained, socializing, networking, but it's consistency is the biggest thing. Then I have to think of why won't they come here? There's nothing for them. There really wasn't. The vendors won't come back either because they won't come if the head count's not here. Because Conklin Donuts isn't here anymore, and I worked with them through Cattle Congress and Waterloo and done those things. So it's kind of a trickle effect where they're going to jump into another circuit, where they can make more money.
And I would echo what you said about, why your kids go to other towns but not here. I think the one thing that we forget in Mason City is that, it's a really urban environment, and we're trying to project a rural image. That's what a fair is. And some fairs have done a really good job of transitioning to how the world has changed. Agriculture has changed. The percentage of people that live on a farm has entirely changed. And I think that a lot of people who even I try to encourage to come out to the fair don't have that personal connection of going and seeing your neighbor's animals or your, any sort of connection to agriculture. So a lot of the fairs have tried to do the other things, whether it's mud volleyball or whatever. The state fair we go every year because they have a lot of things. They are a state fair, so they have more resources, obviously. But just even in the open classes, we were talking to some of the superintendents. We need a scrapbooking division because that is so popular right now. They don't have room for it at the state fair, to put all the entries. Women don't have time to go bake 6 dozen cookies. They bake them from a box now. So some of the fairs have contests now for the best cake out of the box, and contests like that. And I think we should explore how the world has changed and adapt to it, as opposed to trying to get people to fit into an older model that might not be relevant.
I guess I will start off. I don't want to start off with a negative tone. I have I have 2 daughters that are in the Bits and Spurs Horse Club. They're represented in 4-H. They've been in 4-H 3 years. We did the dog show. My youngest daughter was the first year doing the dog show. We've always had the dog show in that back building in the morning. It's worked out well. This year we had it in the loafing shed. The night before they had a barbecue. There were lots of food scraps on there. You can imagine what the dogs did.
Oh.
And there were birds and ducks and things going around, so they didn't want to do anything. The wind blew the signs over that we had to follow. The kids had to follow. Needs to be moved back indoors for them. That would be the first thing to do. And we lost a lot of competitors once they found out it was going to be outside. We probably lost half of the competition of participants. So we only had 5 dogs showing that day. We were supposed to have up to 17. And the people just said, my dog's not going to do that with food on the ground. So
That was the 4-H.
that was the 4-H
4-H.
dog.
County fairs are about the experience, about bringing people together, giving people an opportunity to meet, to talk, to learn new things, to see that frog. I didn't see the frog from Wisconsin. But I don't hear people talking about offering experiences for families to come together and spend time together. And that's what I've seen successful fairs do. And I've served 10 different counties with Iowa State University Extension in my 15 years, and they look to provide experiences. And I know you all work very hard here at the North Iowa Event Center, and it's been a pleasure to work with you, but I think we'll see a shift and look at experiences for families and drawing those different age groups. I think that gives a different conversation to what we need to move forward.
Based on what you've worked with before, where do we come closest? Or do we come close at all?
I grew up in Franklin.
I'm Rick Sullivan, I own Hoot Handy Incorporated. We are premier concert brokers for North Iowa. We've opened a new office downtown, and we are looking to work with the fair to bring in some premium talent. I see you have Metner Band and Alley Cats. Is the reason for the talent level that's being offered here strictly budget?
I would say budget and risk. They kind of go hand in hand. Those were some small stage entertainment that was provided. We have trended away due to the financial conditions of the last few years to either bring in something that would be, say 3 times a day, 5 days, that type of thing, just because of cost plus the inability to get a sponsor behind it. We have trended away from the large concert venue type things because of trends.
But isn't that the type of thing that the fair needs to bring the younger generation back to it? The young generation doesn't come out here besides 4-H. They don't come out here. The young generation needs a reason to come out here. What's being booked, yeah, you have a little bit of a risk involved here, I understand that. But when is the risk going to outweigh not having anybody here anymore? It's time for a whole new generation of people to understand what the fair is. My daughters are 8 and 13. They don't even want to come out here. What's out there, Dad? And I said, what if I bring in Miley Cyrus? Well, let's bring Miley Cyrus in out there. You gonna go to the fairgrounds now? And the hands went up as quick as I could say it. Isn't that what we need to do? Isn't that what we have to do? We have to look at a whole new generation that needs to start coming out to the fair. And we have to start addressing how do we reach that generation and get them there. Am I right? Am I right or wrong?
You're right. You're right.
But, and I understand budget restraints. I mean, tell me I understand, but I just spent $50,000 opening an office downtown. I understand budget restraints. And I've talked to you, Dennis, before, and some of the things that we're going to promote, we're going to be the backing. We're going to be the money behind it. Yes, we need to talk to you and Mr. Green, and we need your facilities, we need your stage. And what we want to do for the fairgrounds is bring in the act, bring back the excitement, allow you guys to take all the concessions. We don't want the concessions. We want you to make money. We don't want a deal. We want to pay full boat. But we want to bring the excitement back, because if we don't do it, it's just never going to grow. It's always going to maintain, or it's going to get less, because as we age, it's going to be less and less. So I want to talk to Mr. Green. I want to talk to you. And we're already set up. We're ready to go. We've had
umpteen people wanting to come in through Mason City. Why? Because we're called a hopper network. They're hopping between Minneapolis, St. Louis, Green Bay, and they're coming through and they want to stop here and they want to perform because they want the road expenses. That's all. They want the road expenses. And they said, well, there's not a venue in North Iowa because our Nyack Auditorium only has 1,000 seats. It's not big enough to be able to have a good enough ticket price to bring them in. Otherwise, you're going to be charged $90 a ticket plus. Now, from what you've told us, and from talking to you and talking to Larry, that you have a facility here that has 1,500 seats. Stage in the facility and 1,500 seats. If that's true, we can bring you the talent. If North Iowa wants the talent. That's where we're at. We're all ready.
And our trends in entertainment like it has been taking a lead from, say, sponsoring radio stations. The radio stations in the past have been really good to us as far as, ideally picking somebody and promoting it and trying to match with what the people will want to come out and pay for. I think what we run up against has been in the past is the idea that we can get it free from somewhere else. And there have been more competition. I think probably if you look back more years than when I went on the board, that we were kind of unique, that if you're going to see something, you'd see it here. But since that time, there has been an Nyack Auditorium, and I work with those programs, and they're quite successful. Getting sponsorships as well as getting people in the seats. There is one of the landmark venues in the United States, in the Surf Ballroom. There is a casino now in play with free concerts up there. And then plus the little towns have added their own, which maybe they didn't in the past. We certainly have always kept an open mind to try to do that in the past few years for survival at the end of the fair, that we could still meet a zero cost, zero profit. We have cut back on those because, as we found, even the smallest entertainment venue event might cost us a considerable amount of money, and we don't have an idea whether we got one ticket sold or 1,000 or.
That's where my company steps in. My company is not going to look for a sponsor for anything. We are going to front it. We're going to bring the artists in. We need your venue. We need your stage. That's what we need from the North Iowa Fair. What you're going to get from us is all the proceeds that go around it. The people that are staying in the hotels, the people that are going out to eat, the people that are buying concessions here. We're here to tell you we don't need sponsorship. We don't need any backing from the fair itself. We understand that the casino over here has a 400-seat casino, and they basically bring in old groups that aren't even the original members. It's a surf ballroom. It's a 65 and 80 crowd. It's a stand-up ballroom. A lot of people can't stand up. They can't watch a performance because they can't literally stand up that long. It's a ballroom. And Nyack Auditorium actually does a great job, but they're more performance art. You know what, and I know that. Yeah, they have 2 or 3 singers that come through, but they're 90% performance art. I've talked to them out there. They said, hey, we don't want to come up against you, meaning Lutheran. They said, we don't want to come up against you. We're going to stay in the performance art business. You stay in the performing business, and recommended me to get a hold of the North Iowa Fair. Because they said they've got the facility, they've got a $100,000 stage, and it needs to be used. So that's where we're at right now. So we're opening an invitation to you, to the fairgrounds, that says, we will bring you the act if you want us here.
Well, I think we're on the right track there. Bert.
Are you saying,
Stand up, Bert, would you please?
are you saying you're going to bring the act in here, do the advertising, do the selling of the tickets?
Yep. Every aspect will be done through Hootenanny, except for we need the building, we need the stage, and we need this gentleman's company to do the light and sound, because we want to deal with a local company to do the light and sound. We want to keep all the business local.
See,
Everything.
this is our problem, has always been, we could have the best acts, and we've had, I don't know if Katie's got a list of one of the ones that we've had some damn good entertainment. Like Pete just said a minute ago, the town won't support us, and they won't come out. But if you're telling me that you're, anyway,
First of all, I don't know of one act that you say you have top act. Someone give me a name, because I don't know of any of them.
Michael Montgomery or.
That was,
I mean, we're talking
yeah.
about,
Well, okay. So it's been a long time. But
Jiffy Little Texas.
it's all people, that's my business. The booking part of it's my business, and yeah, you're right. If you don't watch your P's and Q's, you will go belly up so quick, because if it isn't that niche, that person that's going to sell 1,500 tickets, you're gonna go belly up.
are you talking about during the fair or kind of a year-round?
Well,
thing?
I talked to Dennis before. I said I can help you if you want. The fair is your guys' money maker. I can help you get that talent if you need help. I can contact the management groups. I can negotiate the contract and the writers that go along with it. But during the fair, it's kind of going to be your deal, and so that's why I'm asking what kind of budget's there. Because there are country acts, literally, that would come in here for $2,000. And the country acts will come in here for $200,000.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying, you're talking just during the fair, you're talking indoor, outdoor venues?
I want to help Dennis and the fair during the fairgrounds, just as helping them book the acts that they need. Just as an aid to Dennis and to Mr. Green. Outside the regular fair time, fair 10 days, that's when we're going to come in. It's going to be a separate event. It's not going to be during fair time. I'm only want to aid them for fair time.
Right.
Does that make sense?
But you're talking about just venues for different times of year,
Yes.
indoor and outdoor both?
No, I'm going to only go indoor, because when you go outdoor, you risk Iowa weather, and you got a serious problem. I want to go indoor with a stage, everything set up. I take my risk and I take the risk out of it. I sell the tickets, I print the tickets, I market the tickets. My website's already up. You can already, as soon as I pop the first one in there, you can go in there and buy tickets immediately.
I, for one, are
He
interested.
brings up a good.
We want to generate the interest.
No, and we're interested in all things, and